Okay, welcome to Shenandoah Part 2, and this will just be showing the variations of the first time around, which there are many. First off, I'm not too sure if I went over the bar on the little finger on that section going up. I'm talking about the last video. That little D chord there needs to be, it really does need to be played with a bar of the little finger. Moving on to this next part. Again, not much of a difference the first time around, only the those three notes are actually hit instead of two. Small difference, but you know, just in there to show you that you can change these things just by one note, and it sounds slightly different. And okay, so yes, the backward rake on the D. So we're used to a D shape being either that or that, but we're not really used to a D shape being like this. You know, it's a triad because it's got three notes. So you got to think to yourself, there's probably three ways to finger that. That's a different story, but save that for another time. But for now, you would use this shape so you can get that ornamentation in, which is a ninth or a sus2 sound, whatever you want to call that, and then just hammer on to the third. It gives you room to hammer on those two notes while holding the chord. So you can get a wee bit of mileage out of that. Yes, and then that transitions to downstrokes using the D as a kind of pivot. Like that. Then we've got a C sharp to D, which saves you playing an A to D like this. You can just play the C sharp to D. Then we've got that move. Next part is, there's always a hardest part, and this is it. It's a C major, but it's got a gap between each string. So you've got the okay, that's a first inversion, C major triad, and it slides down to a G major. You know, this isn't the place to get into the theory of things, but I will say that that is a fourth sliding into the fourth. Opens up a can of worms and stuff, but it's an approach chord to the fourth. I mean, we're in D major, and the 4 chord is a G, but the 4 chord of G is C, and I'm just saying it's a kind of good transitional move to get to the fourth. Is using the fourth, you know. And it brings on a kind of hate using this word, but it's mixolydian. It gives that kind of, it goes from that C sharp to which is a kind of mixolydian sound. But anyway, so after that we've got this actually I'm wrong here. It's that's it there. So it's just another one of those falls, as I would call it, a kind of gravity fall. It sounds probably ridiculous to detail that, but see, just being relaxed enough just to, or else just creep it up. You know, there's a massive difference there. Okay, so on this 13th chord, there's a pull off. Now, Tony is using a push off, which is, you know, it pushes this way, up the way. Just depends what you're used to. You know, I'm just used to going down on the B string like that, you know, not always, but again, it's one of those things when you're up to speed, you know, it's not really that much of a difference. So there's that little pull off to worry about. You see, I just did the push off there and it didn't work out for me. So this is probably the reason why I would go with the down. But anyway, after that we've got, oh yes, after that is like an F sharp, E minor to B minor. It's like a fast. Okay, that's like a backward break. Like that. So it's backward break, but then a double hit on the C sharp. Like that. Like that. And that brings us into the B minor. And it seems like it's more dependent on the pick finger technique, but I'm sure you could play it with the plectrum. And then that A would bring us out to those triads. Now here's the thing here, when you're playing that A, first inversion, you don't have to move that first finger at all to get to the D. You see, you just switch over from there, so it's so this finger just stays exactly where it is, you know. So it's wee small things like that that can make transitions way smoother. You know, you sit there and try and work out what finger stays where it is, you know. Where does that bring us to? Yeah, and then this little lick is hammer, slide, slide. Then a slight vibrato. And then you've got D, A, and G. And then your A11. And there's a little variation there for you, which is instead of which is A, C sharp, and D. And that's just an example to show some of the downstrokes. You can actually hear it there. A double downstroke right there, and it's basically, sometimes you can see the rest stroke in operation there. Okay, so that's that section. Again, some more details to think about. And you know, I know some people think it's a bit crazy getting into some of these details, but this is exactly how you sort of advance. You know, there's, for some reason with Tony, there's a big spooky mystery thing going on that people like to say, and then people repeat that, you know, and the next thing, you know, everybody's got the attitude of not playing this stuff because, you know, it's some sort of mysterious thing that's up there with, you know, the pyramids, you know. You get absolutely nowhere by taking that stance. You know, you just get in there and try to work out what it is, you know, because you can be sure that your heroes did exactly the same thing. And for sure, you know, you watch these DVDs, you hear people, you know, your favorite players talking about certain things, but you know, you have to remember where they are in their career. You know, a lot of times it's much better to hear them at the very start, and they're talking about scales and the work they've done to get there, using metronomes and all sorts of things. By the end of their career, you know, it's all kind of blurred. You know, let's just say it's not very helpful for the person who's trying to learn this stuff. So forget all that mystery stuff you hear, and let's get just down into the details and learn what it is. Like I said, people love mysteries. I mean, you just cannot do anything about that. So that's what I'll do in the next video is probably whatever's left, and some live variations as well, which there are some nice variations for every single move there, I would say. You know, because these things are probably a couple of years in the making from somebody like Tony Rice, and then they're played out live. So there's a lot of improvisation going on. So there are thankfully a lot of versions that have went up on YouTube, so you can study those later. So we'll do that. But for now, please like, share and subscribe, and we'll see you later.